Look, if you bought a pre-construction condo in the GTA, like during the last 5, 7, 8 years, it's probably pretty painful for you right now. What you paid is way above today's market value, and some of the most expensive closings are going to be in the end of 2025 and 2026. We're going to see buyers who purchase their condos around $1,600 per square foot. The city of Toronto average today for resale is about $900. So essentially, somebody can get a condo in a building that's 1 or 2 years old at a price point that's under $1,000 a square foot, and then you have people closing on new construction, like maybe next door if it's phase two of the same complex, at $1,500, $1,600. So what are your options as a buyer? Like really, you only really have 4 options, and out of them only 3 are realistic, and out of those maybe 2 or 1 are good. And I'm going to talk about the good stuff first. So the good stuff, option number 1, probably the best case scenario is that you bought that pre-construction property for the intention of you residing there yourself. In that case, close on it, live there, enjoy, and eventually the value will go up. Like real estate is a long-term game. You want to look at it about 10-year blocks. If you look back on TREB sold history over the last 30, 40 years, and all this information is tracked, you can see that the average sold price has always gone up. There have been bumps in the road, just like with any asset. You see this in stocks, you see this in real estate, you see this in gold and commodities. Prices do go up and down, but overall real estate prices have gone up. So eventually you will get to a point where that purchase price that you bought that new condo for is going to seem like a good value. The second option is, if you're buying it for investment purposes, is to close on the property, put a tenant in there, throw extra money out of pocket every single month until the market turns around and either rents go up significantly, where that gap between your monthly payments and what the tenant has coming in narrows down. Maybe you renew a mortgage at a lower rate, maybe you pay down some of your mortgage to make it a little bit more affordable. But ultimately, for the first little while, it is going to be somewhat painful. Eventually though, prices will rebound, prices will go up, and this will be an afterthought. Now, option 3, which is not a great exit strategy in today's market. Unfortunately, some people that bought pre-construction condos, some of the stories that I'm hearing about people that got in a lot of trouble with pre-construction, is this was their exit strategy going in. And they maybe did this a few times in the past over the last decade or so successfully, and this has led to the challenge that they're facing now, and that is assigning a sale. I remember when pre-construction was being sold in 2019, 2020, I was like, oh, no big deal. You know, if you can't close on it, you just assign it, make money, and walk away from the deal. Well, everybody's kind of trying to assign at the same time. That market has become very, very saturated. It's oversaturated. There's no permission to advertise assignments on the MLS. So you're basically stuck navigating through, back channels with realtors, sharing your assignment in WhatsApp groups, closed Facebook pages, or other websites. Realistically, in today's market, about 10 to 15% of assignments are selling, and those people that are buying assignments, like I get these calls all the time, essentially they're looking for blood. They're looking to pay as little as possible and really take advantage of buyers that are underwater. It's not a good scenario for you to be in as somebody who's trying to assign their purchase. And the fourth option, and this is something that some people have asked me about, is like, what if they just walk away? So they forfeit their deposit, their 20% deposit, and they just walk away from the transaction. Like, is the builder gonna chase all these people? They are. Okay, they have a legal team that's ready on standby. They're gonna go after you. They're gonna essentially sell that unit themselves, most likely significantly below what you paid for it. Then they're gonna sue you for the difference. It's gonna be not just the difference though, it's gonna also be real estate commissions, because as the builder, they can advertise on MLS, they give themselves permission to do so. So there's gonna be real estate commissions. It's gonna be the difference between the purchase price that you bought the unit for and then what they were able to sell it for, legal costs, if they had to pay a mortgage and there's an interest rate to carry that property, like essentially they're going to sue you for as much as you can. And it's going to be a 2-3 year process. Like at the end, who knows what the actual settlement is going to be, but it's going to be very, very tough for that buyer to go through that process, and eventually, that builder is going to get their money. So really, these are the options that you have. If you're in the latter boat, so you can't close on your property, it's it's a very unfortunate situation. You want to talk maybe to a couple of different mortgage brokers and find out what your options are, maybe some private lending or something else. Make sure that you speak to a real estate lawyer or a lawyer that handles these types of matters, somebody that maybe specializes in pre-construction, understand what your options are, what your rights are as a buyer, and yeah, hopefully if you're watching this, you're in the first two where you can just close on it and live there yourself or rent it out. My name is Alex Zhvanetskiy. I'm a Toronto realtor for Remax Condos Plus. This has been another episode of Your Toronto Condos. I hope you found this information to be valuable. If you could like, share, and subscribe this video, I'd really appreciate it. I'll see you next time on Your Toronto Condos.